Here's something nobody tells you: the gap between where you are right now and becoming a top performer. It's probably smaller than the distance between your couch and your fridge. Yet most people spend years, decades even, convinced that excellence is reserved for people with special DNA, trust funds, or some ancient scroll they found in a cave. Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched someone absolutely demolish their goals while you're over here Googling how to stay motivated for the 47th time this month? Here's the plot twist. They're not superhuman. They're not lucky. They just stopped doing 3 things you're probably doing right now. And I'm about to expose all of them. Today, we're breaking down the exact roadmap top performers follow. Not the Instagram quote version. Not the wake up at 4 a.m. and drink celery juice version. Just 3 brutally simple shifts that separate people who talk about success from people who are too busy succeeding to talk about it. This is the stuff that actually works. No fluff, no filler, just the truth you probably don't want to hear, but definitely need to. By the end of this video, you'll either have a clear action plan or you'll realize you've been sabotaging yourself this whole time. Either way, it's going to be uncomfortable. Let's go. Shift number 1, stop chasing perfection and start chasing progress. All right, let's address the elephant in the room: perfectionism. You think it's your superpower, don't you? You think waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions makes you detail-oriented and responsible. Plot twist. Perfectionism is just procrastination wearing a fancy outfit. Think about it. The person who spends 3 months researching the best productivity app never actually gets productive. The student who color codes their notes until they look like a rainbow threw up on their desk never actually studies. The person who needs the perfect gym routine, perfect meal plan, and perfect playlist before starting, still on the couch. Perfectionism isn't high standards. It's fear doing an excellent impression of ambition. Here's what top performers figured out that you haven't yet. Version 1 of anything is going to be terrible. Embarrassingly terrible. Like, I can't believe I actually did that. Terrible. And they do it anyway. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. You can't edit air. You can't improve something that only exists in your head as this beautiful, perfect, imaginary thing. Let me paint you a picture. You know what separates someone who's written 50 articles this year from someone who's been working on their first one since January? It's not talent. It's not time. It's the willingness to publish something that makes them cringe a little, learn from the feedback, and do it again. Progress compounds like interest in a savings account. Perfection just sits there, looking pretty and accomplishing nothing. Here's your reality check. Identify one thing you've been putting off because it doesn't feel ready yet. Maybe it's that project. Maybe it's that difficult conversation. Maybe it's that goal you've been planning for so long that planning has become the actual hobby. Now ask yourself this question and be honest. What's the smallest, ugliest, most embarrassing version of this I could do in the next hour? Not tomorrow when you feel more motivated. Not next week when things calm down. In the next 60 minutes, do that thing. That's how momentum starts. Not with perfection, but with imperfect action that actually exists in reality instead of just in your imagination. Shift number 2. Master your energy, not just your time. Okay, real talk time. You've tried time management, right? You've color-coded calendars. You've made to-do lists that look like small novels. You've time-blocked your day down to the minute like you're scheduling a NASA launch. And it worked great for about 4 days before everything collapsed like a house of cards in a windstorm. Want to know why? Because managing your time without managing your energy is like trying to drive across the country with no gas stations. Doesn't matter how perfect your route is if your tank is empty halfway through Kansas. Here's the thing, top performers understand that sounds obvious once you hear it, but somehow everyone ignores. Your brain is not a machine that operates at consistent output for 12 hours straight. Your brain has an expiration time on quality thinking. It's roughly 90 to 120 minutes before your focus starts leaking out like air from a slowly deflating balloon. Most people completely ignore this. They schedule back-to-back meetings from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then wonder why they can't write a coherent email by 3 o'clock. Meanwhile, top performers are treating their peak energy windows like gold-plated VIP tickets. They're protecting them. They're guarding them. They're using them for the stuff that actually matters, instead of scrolling through emails that could have been handled by a well-trained goldfish. And here's the part that's going to make you uncomfortable. Rest isn't the thing you do after you finish your to-do list. Rest is literally the thing that makes your to-do list possible. Your brain runs a cleaning cycle while you sleep. Miss sleep, and you're basically trying to think clearly with yesterday's trash still sitting in your mental garbage disposal. Gross, but accurate. Top performers don't grind until they collapse. That's not discipline, that's just bad math. They work in sprints, they recover intentionally. They understand that 8 energized hours destroys 12 exhausted ones every single time. So here's your mission for the next 3 days. Track your energy every hour, 1 to 10 scale. When do you feel sharp? When does your brain feel like it's moving through pudding? Notice the pattern. Then, and this is the game changer, schedule your most important, brain-intensive work during your peak energy window. Not when it's convenient. Not when your boss schedules meetings. During your actual biological prime time. Just that one shift can double your output without adding a single extra hour to your day. But you have to stop pretending you're a robot first. Shift number 3, build systems, not motivation. All right, let's talk about motivation. You love motivation, don't you? Motivational videos, motivational quotes, motivational speeches that make you want to run through a brick wall. Feels great, right? Here's the problem. Motivation is the flakiest friend you've ever had. Motivation shows up to the party when everything's going well, brings great energy, makes you feel invincible, and then completely ghosts you the second things get difficult. And that's exactly when you need it most. Top performers don't wait for motivation. They don't even trust motivation. They build systems. And systems are basically the difference between hoping you'll feel like doing something and making it so automatic that your feelings don't get a vote. Think about it this way. Motivation is hoping you'll feel like going to the gym. A system is laying out your workout clothes the night before, so when your alarm goes off, you're not having a philosophical debate with yourself about the meaning of discipline. You just put on the clothes that are literally staring at you and go. This is where most people get it backwards. They try to summon willpower like they're casting a spell. Meanwhile, top performers are just removing the decision entirely. They're not more disciplined. They're just making it harder to fail than to succeed. Let me give you a real-world example. Someone who wants to read more might wait for the perfect reading mood to strike. Someone with a system reads 10 pages every morning while their coffee brews. Exact same goal. One person reads 2 books this year and feels guilty about it. The other person reads 30 books and doesn't even think about it because it's just what they do now, like brushing their teeth. Here's the formula that actually works. Make the habit so small it feels stupid. I'm serious. Embarrassingly small. Want to write more? 1 sentence per day? Want to get fit? 5 push-ups. Want to learn Spanish? 1 word per day. The size doesn't matter. The consistency is everything. Because here's what happens when you do something every day for 30 days. Your brain stops seeing you as someone who's trying to do the thing. You become someone who does the thing. That's not a mindset shift. That's an identity shift. And identity is the most powerful force in human behavior. So here's your assignment. Pick 1 goal you keep failing at. Now shrink it down to something so laughably small that you'd be embarrassed to tell anyone about it. Then, do that thing every single day for 7 days. Not because it'll change your life in a week, but because it'll prove to yourself that you're someone who keeps promises to themselves. And once you believe that, everything else gets easier. The truth you need to hear. Let's bring it home. Becoming a top performer has nothing to do with being smarter, luckier, or having more hours in the day. It's 3 simple shifts. Number 1, stop waiting for perfect and start shipping imperfect. Done beats perfect, and it's not even close. Number 2, stop managing time and start managing energy. Protect your peak hours like they're worth money because they are. Number 3, stop chasing motivation and start building systems. Make the right choice automatic so your feelings don't sabotage your future. Here's the beautiful part. You don't need all 3 at once. You don't need to overhaul your entire existence by Monday morning. You just need to pick one, literally just one, and start today. Not later. Not when you feel ready. Today. Maybe you're going to hit publish on that imperfect thing. Maybe you're going to schedule deep work during your actual energy peak, instead of whenever there's a gap in your calendar. Maybe you're going to commit to one tiny daily system that's so small it feels ridiculous. Whatever you choose, here's the truth. Top performers aren't born. They're built, one decision at a time. And every single tool you need is already in your hands. The only question is whether you're actually going to use them or keep collecting motivational content like it's a hobby. So, which shift are you starting with? Drop it in the comments. Bonus points if you make it specific and slightly uncomfortable. And if this video just called you out in the best possible way, smash that like button and subscribe for more reality checks disguised as self-improvement advice. Now stop watching videos about getting better and actually go get better. I'll see you in the next one.